Hi everyone, Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd, here to do my trade review for Monday, June 26, 2023. So yeah, today kind of sucked. That's the best way I could put it. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just been working a bit too much over the weekend. But today my C game went out the window. Um, Hit my max loss in my prop firm account. Luckily, once you hit your max loss, you can retry the next day. But I haven't done that in quite some time. And the way it happened was really unfortunate because I could have gotten this really big move. It was like over a 200-point move. And I was in a trade for the move, but I exited early because, yeah, I just didn't have conviction. And I should have had conviction, but I thought it was going to be like a bull trend day because of the way the morning started, and that just threw me off. I thought, because what I've been telling myself is that when it's like a bull trend day, just go with the trend, and I always got to remember it's about context. It's never black and white. It's really about context because today, the reason I was going short and it was a valid thesis. The reason I was going short is because on the morning, we got right to the value area high of this 211.22, 217.22 range, and we've rejected so many times. So if we reject it again, odds are that sellers want to get down here. We didn't get all the way down there, but got close to this value area low of the range. So, it's one of those things where I overthought it. I didn't have a lot of conviction on the morning. The other reason that the short was I felt was valid was because we got above this hourly value area high here, pulled back below it, and this is where I thought, okay, buyers could either get below and not find acceptance back into this range. We could bounce above and then get back up to here. But given the daily value area high, I should have had more conviction in that this could happen, like we could rotate to the other side of value, given that we couldn't find acceptance above this value area high. This would have been a beautiful short off the POC, another beautiful short, and another nice short right here. And yeah, so even on the daily, on this daily 5 minute, there's a short right there, short off the POC of the daily, short off the value area low right here. Just so many good plays, but because I hit my max loss, I didn't benefit from today and actually had a bit of drawdown. So yeah, not my finest hour. I really wish I could have today back. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, it feels like very amateurish what I did today, because I feel like I should know better. I feel like I can do way better. And there was just a lot of things. And I think I was overthinking it today because there was a long that I really wanted to take, but I was watching too many things, right? So here when I see this big move, so we had the open like around here, and then I see this big move and I recognize that we have this little range here, we have this range here that we held on the way up. And so I say to myself, if we get down to here, it's a good place for a long. If we break below this range and don't get acceptance below it, maybe entering right here to get this move up to the value area high. At the time, it would have been to get to the value area high of the daily, and it would have been to get to the value area high of the hourly here, which would have been a nice, 50 points had I got that trade. I was looking for like 50 points on that trade, which I would have gotten. But didn't take that trade, and the reason I didn't take it is because, man, and it's just like, yeah, it's really, here, let me minimize some of this. It's just really kind of unfortunate that all that happened because, yeah, there were so many good plays today. So the reason I didn't take that trade was because it was I was looking at NVDA, and at the time here, I'll zoom in here. So at the time, I told myself that if NVDA gets down here, I'm gonna go for the long. And so I was just looking for NVDA to get here to this value area low of, it might have been like a 15-minute range, and this hourly POC or hourly pivot from Friday. So I thought sellers could get back down there to then get the bounce. And so I was just patiently waiting for that to happen to go long on NQ. And also, I think Apple had a level. So NVDA, let me see, that was at, it would have been like 914. And Apple, I was looking at Apple as well. And I was looking for Apple to, test its high of yesterday for me to go long, even though it already did here. And so I was just looking for more confluence in the tech names, the bigger tech names, to go long on the NASDAQ. And I was waiting for Amazon to get to the value area high here, which it did. And 921, it did get the bounce there, but QQQ or NQ got the bounce at 850, so much earlier. And I was just looking at too many things, kind of trying to be was being a little less reactive and just trying to time everything too precisely. And we held the value area high here on NQ. We got above it, held it here to the T, got back into this range. I could have made a long here, didn't take that. And after we get to the daily value area high here, I start to be interested in the short. And I told myself, if on the hourly we get back into this range, I'm going to look for the back test off the value area high. And honestly, like it was a pretty good thesis, but I went long first. I went long because, we were sideways. We broke below this entire range. We got back into this range. And once we broke above and we got into the value area back into this range, I went for the long here and I got stopped out here. So that was my first loss. Or actually I exited here once we got back into this range because I didn't want to sit through the drawdown. So I exited here. It wasn't a full loss. And then I decided to go short here because I felt we could hold the POC, but we held the overnight high. So I should have been more cautious. And we got back above, so I took a full loss here. Then this is where I botched it. Like I completely messed it up because at this point we pull back, we get back into this range. I look for the sell here, and then I exit manually here once we got back into all of this sideways. I felt like sellers should have smashed here, and they didn't, so I exited the trade here. And this was the trade that would have netted me, had I held, I could have passed my second phase of the challenge, and instead I sold it here. I exited for a loss, so now I'm pretty red. And then I enter short here again at the overnight high, and exit again because I recognize that we're holding the overnight high. Took a few points loss here, and then basically what I told myself is that once we get down to this POC here on the daily. Once we get down to that POC, I'm going to look for the long, and that POC also, I should have been more cautious, but essentially what I was looking for was for buyers to hold this POC here and for us to get a bounce here. And I completely botched it because buyers couldn't get acceptance above this range, so we could rotate to the other side, which is what happened, and we bounced right from the low. And we couldn't get acceptance for the third time above this daily value area high, and we could rotate to the other side here on the daily. So I could have been less aggressive looking for the long. It's just I had cognitive dissonance thinking that because we had such a strong move up in the morning that it could be a bull trend day and buyers could look to be buying dips. And I was wrong. Given context of the daily and the hourly, I could have been way more picky looking for the long, but that's what I told myself. I said, maybe buyers hold this POC here and maybe we get acceptance back above this hourly POC. So I entered, we had a small range from the morning. So once we pulled back and we entered the range here, I entered the long here and got stopped out here. I don't even think it was a full loss. I think my broker kicked me out. It was a 6.5 loss. I think either I exited manually or my broker kicked me out. But yeah, that was my trading day. Hit my full max loss, and was really unfortunate because there were so many good plays that I could have taken, and there was, I could have had conviction in this short here, and that would have, netted me. I would have been green for the day. I'm pretty sure. I think I would have been green. But yeah, these are the lessons. Again, I haven't had this much drawdown in a while, and just because I didn't practice good risk management, I botched it. Once I hit this loss here, I should have been way more picky, and there was just beautiful trades after that set up in the day, right here. I probably would have taken this one here because it was just a lot of confluence here, with this hourly range, this 5-minute range right here. Could have looked for this short. That would have been like 100 points. To try to get to this value area low, I could have sold at the end of the day. Another play right here off this value area low. So many good plays that I could have taken today, but I didn't. And just unfortunate. But it just shows me to be very picky moving forward and to play with the micros again. So I think I'm going to go back to that, where in the morning I play with the micros. And I might miss some pretty nice plays with the micros, but that's fine, because during the day there's just so many good plays that set up that I don't have to be so eager to trade in the morning, and I can trade with micros just to get warmed up. And so I'm going to have to go back to that because I've hit a pretty big drawdown for my second phase, and so I'm going to have to climb back from that drawdown, and it's not going to be fun, I know, but for me it's just going to be being very picky. And there's so many good trades during the day that I just have to keep reminding myself to be very picky, because those trades, they do show themselves, and I just have to wait for them, and I can be doing other things while the trade is happening or setting up and all that good stuff. So I'm also aware that I'm looking at tech and different sectors, and I might be overthinking things, but they do help. It does help, looking at tech, and so I'm going to keep doing it because it does provide some confluence, but I can also be pretty in tune with the levels that I draw up, because these levels get respected on the futures very well. So I should kind of look at that as well, and pick my spots. Like if buyers are trying to prove something and they don't, and we get back into a range, well, then I can maybe look for the sell to rotate to the other side of value, and vice versa. Like if sellers are trying to prove something but buyers get back into the range, I can look for buyers to rotate to the other side of value and things like that. So, I do like, I don't know, I feel like I've lost a bit of fear with trading. Like it's up to me now to be good at this. And I love that. I love that responsibility, because I've left my trading community, which I'm, happy about. Like, I think I used it as a crutch in a way. It was like a psychological crutch where I was like, oh, am I okay to make my own plays? Or like, am I doing the right thing? Or like, trying to, figure myself out as a trader. But now it's solely up to me, and I really like that. And I like my approach, and, grateful for the community, because I've learned this approach through the community. But at this point, at this stage, I'll say, or point, it's up to me to feel 100% responsible for the trades I take, for the reason I take them, and live with the results, and continue to grow. And one of my biggest improvements is, picking my spots, not exiting my trade too early. Yeah, pretty much that. And having conviction in my setup, because that third short, I think, would have been a really nice short. Especially, we rejected from this POC here, could have looked for the lower high, and I did enter, and I exited here right at the top. Could have left the trade to breathe, and would have been a really nice trade. Just unfortunate. These things happen, but I'm trying to mitigate these things from happening, because I do have a good thesis, and I just have to trust that thesis, even if buyers get above this range for a moment. Just trust the thesis that I'm looking at a larger time frame, and if buyers don't get above this value area high on the hourly, then the thesis could still play out, and sellers could rotate to the other side of value here. And then the daily couldn't get above this daily value area high, could rotate to the daily value area low. So just got to keep learning, got to keep improving, learning, and growing as a trader. And again, every time I have days like these, I always tell myself, no matter how long it takes, I'm in it for the long run. Like, I'm gonna have days like these. That's fine. And the last thing I want is to fail the second phase of the prop firm and go back to step one. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, and just have to live with it. Because it's a marathon, not a sprint, and it's gonna take however long it takes. I've only been trading honestly for less than 2 years, so if within my third year is when I'm successful, that's fine. But I just got to keep showing up every day, doing my morning prep, staying in tune with the market, with everything else, and and so it looks like weekly consolidation. I'm actually still part of the community, so I did notice this was written. Weekly consolidation is underway, and we'll just see where buyers buy the dip. So if they buy the dip, but I think they will, because this is such an aggressive move on the weekly. I think larger time frame buyers on the weekly are interested, or will be interested, in a weekly higher low. Wherever we get that, we have quite a bit of space for a weekly higher low for sure on NQ. Yeah, definitely. So we shall see. We'll see where we could get a bit more pullback for this weekly consolidation, but a lot can happen before then. We can oscillate around a bit before getting the full weekly consolidation and then looking for that bounce. All right. We have some sideways action here that I'm gonna kind of fine tune and draw up, because that's a really nice range right there. It's a little bit more recent, and I'll be using that as a range. All right, so let's go quickly over sectors in tech. Let's just see where we land. So SMH getting that nice pullback. This is a nice gap here on the daily that sellers are doing a good job getting through. We could be looking for this value area high down here. QQQ, nice pullback. Could be looking for this value area low down here, and then we have this range that I'm going to draw up relative to NQ. XLF, nice pullback as well. XLF, I don't have a lot of clarity. I think sellers want this value area low here. Quick daily lower high on XLF. And we are looking for that. We are looking for a weekly higher low on XLF. We'll see how we do. And IWM is, quick daily lower high. I think sellers want this value area low down here, maybe to get to this value area high of this range and down to all of this volume down here. We'll see if sellers get there. XLE, just, pretty tight. We held this POC beautifully here on XLE. XLE. XLE was a bit stronger. We almost got to the value area high here. So that was a good play on XLE. I think buyers, if sellers hold this, then we could rotate to the other side of value, or maybe buyers look for this POC up here. 81.81. XBI, big pullback. We did get to this POC here on XBI and held it pretty much of this range and the value area low of this larger range. Maybe buyers look for a bounce here. We will be looking for maybe a weekly head and shoulder to get monthly consolidation, but the monthly is just really tight. High, low, lower high. So we'll see on XBI. XLV held the value area low here of this range, or got back into pretty much this range here. So I'm thinking buyers want the value area low here of the range at roughly 132.03, and maybe to get to this POC at 133.25. XLU, just nice and sideways. I think it's a monthly EQ. Definitely low, high, higher, low, lower, high. Monthly EQ there for XLU. All right, so we are scouting. I think I might go to the weekly here, maybe a weekly higher low on XLU for most clarity. And SMH, nice pullback here. I think sellers want this POC. Maybe we get it in the overnight session, and maybe we rotate back to the value area low here at roughly 144.04 to maybe get like a daily head and shoulders. to continue some weekly consolidation and maybe get some monthly consolidation on SMH. All right, so that is sectors. Let's look at tech real quick. So tech, Apple, nice pullback from there. Daily consolidation hasn't started on Apple, so low of today must break tomorrow for convincing daily consolidation, and then sellers have to break this low 182.59, and but buyers are still okay. There's a range I have drawn here. Maybe sellers look for this at roughly 183.99 or 184 psychological, and that range is just from just a small range I have. I think it's on the 1 minute actually. No, it's right here. It's this range right here. So maybe sellers look for that if we get below this value area low here of this sideways action here. Okie doke. Amazon. Let's look at Amazon on the daily. Amazon, nice pullback, daily consolidation underway. Sellers do need to get through all of this sideways action. We're at the value area high currently. I think sellers want this POC if we get back into this range. If we get back into this range, I think sellers could get to this value area low here at 122.74, and we'll see if buyers defend this value area high for another move up. But weekly consolidation would not surprise us. It's been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're currently on the 9th stair step, weekly stair step on Amazon. Netflix. We have this value area low here. Couldn't get acceptance above this POC, so we bounced first thing and then pulled back. We'll see if buyers hold this range. If not, we're looking at the value area high of this range, or maybe range prior back here. The value area high is at 408.60. So we'll see if we get below this value area low. Could be looking at the value area high here, which kind of coincides with this sideways action right here. I should probably update this, which I think I will. Google broke the value area low of this range, so breaking bear from this sideways range, and sellers should be looking for the value area high of this daily range from all of this sideways action. And if back into this range, we're looking at the value area low here at roughly 108.40. All right, so that is Google. Microsoft, looking like a head and shoulders maybe on Microsoft to start weekly consolidation. More convincing, maybe monthly consolidation for maybe that monthly cup and handle. So that's why I'm thinking buyers do want that weekly higher low. A lot of tech is looking for weekly higher lows, so we'll see how that shapes up. All right, so that looks fine there. I think sellers might look for this value area low here of this recent sideways action on Microsoft, which is at around 326.63. I think sellers want that. Maybe we get there in the overnight session. We shall see. Meta at the value area low of this range from way back here, and we'll see if buyers can hold it. If we get back into here, we're looking at this value area high right here, then the POC. If we get back into this range, I'm thinking sellers want the value area low here at roughly 267.39. Which coincides roughly with the value area high of this range from back here. All right, but if buyers hold this, buyers are still looking good. Just kind of sideways up here on Meta. We'll see if sellers can get some follow through tomorrow, but we shall see. Tesla, nice pullback. I mean, we couldn't even get to the POC of this daily range from back here. And we just had a nice pullback from there. Held this POC of this range very nicely. Pulled back. I think sellers want this POC at 234.88. And that POC is from this range. This range back here. So we'll see if sellers get there. They would fill this gap right here, which I think is what sellers want. Okay, NVDA. Holding a few structures. We've got a nice pullback on NVDA. I think buyers want to hold this structure here. The value area high being at around 395.92. And I have a few ranges. I think I'd have to go to the regular trading hours here. Yeah, so it's a 15-minute range, and I think, yeah, all of this sideways here. I think buyers want to hold this. So if we get below this little range, I think sellers should be looking for the value area high of this structure here, and then buyers do want to hold that for maybe another leg up. But if we do start, monthly consolidation on NVDA, that I think that wouldn't surprise us too much. So maybe we start weekly consolidation on a few tech names. We've already started weekly consolidation on NVDA, and just see how much follow through we get. And maybe we could be looking at monthly consolidation into next month, to see if we get monthly consolidation on some of these tech names that have ran quite a bit since since October of last year. So yeah, and I don't know if it's all tech names that have ran since October, but January, Apple started in January. Yeah, Amazon started in January. Netflix started in pretty much July of last year. Google, started at the beginning of the year. Yeah, a lot of these bounces started at the beginning of the year. Meta, holy moly, started before the beginning of the year, November. Meta from the low has been over 100% move, 228% move on Meta. That is not bad. Tesla, started at the beginning of the year, and NVDA started October of last year. Started this bounce of October of last year. It's just been a monthly stair step on NVDA. All right, so I think buyers will be looking for weekly higher lows. Just going to be looking out for it. And we could get some more pullback, but again, just open to maybe some oscillation first. A lot can happen on the way down. So, just got to be, staying frosty and using my levels every day to make the best informed decisions. So let me just look at ES here. ES, some nice plays here on ES. We held this value area low of this hourly range and pulled back. That's a nice, 20 point move on ES. Yeah, on ES we couldn't get, if I go to the 5-minute here, we couldn't get, let's see, today Monday, we couldn't get above this little range here from right here. So sellers held that, and we got a nice 440, nice over 20 point move on ES. So these plays are here. I just got to be more aware of them, and it's about context. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I should have gone with the trend day and all this stuff, and then I think, given the context of the daily value area high and the fact that we couldn't get above it, I should have been more picky looking for the long, and should have had conviction in the sell at that point on NQ. So just a little unfortunate today. It's one of those days that I have to take with me and I have to continue to learn from, and I will. That's why I do these trade reviews, is to continue to learn these lessons and grow and get better at trading. All right, so that is all I got for today. That's my trade review for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next trade review. Thank you.